On July 2nd, 1937, the most famous pilot in the world vanished. No distress call, no wreckage, no confirmed final words. A plane carrying one of history's greatest pioneers simply disappeared over the Pacific Ocean. Despite the largest search operation ever conducted at the time, nothing was found. How can someone so famous vanish so completely? This is the story of Amelia Earhart, and the question that refuses to fade. What really happened on her final flight before she became a mystery? Amelia Earhart became a legend. Born in 1897, during a time when aviation itself was still new, Earhart grew up fascinated by adventure. Flying changed everything. The moment she experienced her first airplane ride in 1920, she reportedly said, "I knew I had to fly." Within years, she was breaking records. In 1932, she became the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean. In 1937, Amelia Earhart attempted something never successfully completed before, flying around the world near the equator. The journey would span nearly 47,000 kilometers. Her aircraft, a Lockheed Electra 10E, was specially modified with extra fuel tanks. Her navigator, Fred Noonan, was one of the most experienced aerial navigators alive. The plan seemed achievable. Leg by leg, they crossed continents and oceans. By late June 1937, only one major stretch remained, a flight from Lae, New Guinea, to a tiny speck of land called Howland Island, a remote island in the Pacific Ocean, barely visible even under perfect conditions. Missing it by just a few kilometers meant flying into endless ocean, and that is exactly where the mystery begins. Because Amelia Earhart did not simply disappear, she was heard struggling, and her final transmissions may contain clues still debated today. On July 2nd, Earhart took off before sunrise. Weather conditions were uncertain. Cloud cover complicated navigation. Radio communication proved inconsistent. As hours passed, tension grew aboard the U.S. Coast Guard ship Itasca, waiting near Howland Island. Then came radio transmissions. Earhart reported she was running low on fuel. She said they were flying along a navigational line but could not see the island. Her last confirmed message reportedly stated, "We are on the line, running north and south." And then, silence. What happened next remains one of aviation's greatest puzzles. According to most historians, Earhart ran out of fuel and crashed into the Pacific Ocean. The aircraft sank into waters thousands of meters deep. Case closed. But there's a problem. Despite decades of searches using advanced sonar and deep-sea technology, no confirmed wreckage has ever been found. How can a large aircraft vanish without leaving evidence? Modern plane crashes almost always leave debris fields. So why not this one? Unless the plane never crashed where we thought. Because another theory suggests Amelia Earhart survived the flight and may have lived for days or even weeks after disappearing. About 650 kilometers from Howland Island lies Nikomaroro Island. In 1940, British officials discovered partial human remains there. Alongside them were items including a shoe and a sextant box, tools linked to navigation. Decades later, researchers re-examined measurements of the bones. Some analyses suggested they could belong to a woman of Earhart's height and build. Expeditions also found objects consistent with 1930s American origin, signs of temporary survival. Could Earhart and Noonan have landed on a reef, survived briefly, and perished as castaways? Instead of a sudden death, her final days may have been a slow struggle for survival, watching empty horizons for rescue that never came. Some believe Earhart was captured by Japanese forces. Certain researchers claim she accidentally flew into Japanese-controlled territory. Stories emerged decades later from island witnesses describing an American woman pilot held by Japanese soldiers. Even alleged photographs surfaced, though many historians dispute their authenticity. Still, one question lingers. Why does the mystery resist resolution after nearly a century? We are not just trying to find Amelia Earhart. We are trying to prove that even the greatest mysteries can someday be understood. Until then, her final destination remains one of history's most haunting unanswered questions.